Hello, I'm Dana Ford, head coach of the Tennessee State Tigers men's basketball team, and I'd like to invite you to be a part of the Rebound Foundation game that takes place February 16th at the Gentry Center at 8 p.m. Central and can be seen on ESPNU. The mission of the Rebound Foundation is to provide the necessary building blocks for women and children recovering from domestic violence. You can make a contribution without being at the game at pledgeit.org, TSU Rebound Challenge. To find out more information about the Rebound Foundation, visit www.thereboundfound.org. You can also follow us on social media at the handle The Rebound Foundation. Help the Tigers stand up against domestic violence by pledging to end it.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is a simple one. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft. Whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft, Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success, and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today, True Speech and 313 Fresh, Family Grind ENT. Believe in it, get it.
Here on the Bossman Show, we got another great guest for you, great show for you. You know, I'm talking to my man, TitansIR.com, Locked on Titans podcast with Terry McCormick and Brad Hopkins. He always gives you great Titans takes on the air and off the air. The one and only Greg Arias here on the Bossman Show. Greg, what's up, my friend?
What's going on tonight, JR? How are you? How are things in Atlanta?
We are freezing cold, brother.
The same here. I can understand that. That's why I'm staying inside tonight.
I hear that, man. I hear that. I guess I'd ask you, man. I know we talked about early in the year what the Titans we thought their record would be. How surprised you with how well the Titans have played this year, and that the fact that if a game or two here or there things are a little bit different, how good they really could be, record wise.
Well, I picked them 6-10, so right now they're 7-6. They've outperformed my estimation by 1 game, with 3 still to play. What's really the most surprising, though, JR, about it is the fact that they've been so competitive in every game. And you mentioned, and that was part of the question, a couple of games, and you go back and you look at Minnesota for one. 2 turnovers in that game really cost them an opportunity to have won that football game. And if you do that, obviously now they're sitting at 8-5 instead of 7-6. And you throw in another game, and there were a couple in there actually that they had opportunities to win. Both games against the Colts were really games this team felt like they should have won and let get away, especially the first one here when they had a lead late and had the Colts on the ropes and let them get away. So those two games certainly changed the dynamic a lot, and then you're looking at a possibility of having certainly the second Jacksonville game coming up next week that most people probably think is a win. They've got a chance, I think, this weekend going into Kansas City to get one, and then closing out the year with Houston. We could be looking at a team that, with those two games, potentially might have been an 11-5 team this year if they not allowed those two games to get away early on.
And what does that say about Mike Mularkey and John Robinson's system and how they changed the culture over at St. Thomas Sports Park? The fact that these guys compete every game, every quarter, every minute, every game. And like last year, as me and you both know, in your previous years, those guys gave up and quit multiple games and just did not show. No, I know a lack of talent as well, but some of these gave up. They never thought they were actually winning games. So what do you say about Robinson and Mularkey's program, how they had those guys playing with energy and how those guys just playing to win, not playing to lose all the time?
Well, what it says to me, and I've said this several times and will continue to say it, it says that they had a plan, that they sat down when those two gentlemen got hired because they may have known each other. You know how the NFL works. Most everybody in NFL circles knows each other or knows of each other or have been around each other at some point in time. You're not necessarily always close to people, but they came in, they sat down, they put the plan together for what they wanted to do, and it has been a cohesive unit, the two of them working together to come up with what they wanted to do and how they wanted to go about it, and they've done that. And the part that I've preached about and will continue to is the fact that I think Mike Mularkey probably, even though people were concerned it wasn't a very popular hire around here, is a better football coach than people gave him credit for, and I stand on this to prove that. You go back and look at his record in Buffalo and in Jacksonville as the head coach, it wasn't very good. But the one year that he did win in Buffalo, he had Drew Bledsoe as a quarterback. You go look at the years he lost, Bledsoe left after that one season. He had chopped steak and chopped liver as his quarterbacks in the other two stops, and now he's got that guy in Marcus Mariota. They struggled last year, obviously. Mularkey took over as the interim head coach after Wisenhunt fired in the middle of the year, but they've got a quarterback that's playing winning football. They've put some pieces around him, and give Mike Mularkey a lot of credit because he has got these guys. They have bought in. They love what he's doing. He's a player's coach, and I think that's the biggest difference. And along with John Robinson, certainly deserves credit, too, for the selections and the players that he signed. Rishard Matthews, getting DeMarco Murray, obviously have been two welcome big additions to this team. But the plan is working, and give Mike Mularkey a little bit more credit than perhaps people did to begin with. And I personally think those two guys should be up for coach and executive of the year.
I can agree with that. I'm glad to see my man Mike Mularkey doing good in Tennessee. Folks, we're joined by Greg Arias here on the Bossman Show. Now, tell me, how was the crowd in Nissan Stadium for that Denver game? Was it more festive than usual? Was it more ruckus than usual that we see? Because I didn't see the game on Sunday, so it wasn't on down here. So, but how was that crowd up there?
It was a pretty good crowd. It was one of the bigger crowds we've seen in a while. It was not full, but I think that's something that's coming. Each week we've seen throughout this season at home games, the better this team has played, the more people that have showed up. Now, there was a lot of orange in the crowd. Bronco fans were there. But you go back and you look at this, because coming into this season, this Titans team had 5 combined wins the last 2 years. And when tickets went on sale, local fans of the Broncos or fans of the area, people in Kentucky, maybe even down in North Georgia, North Alabama that are Broncos fans, said, hey, we can go up, buy tickets because the Titans fans aren't going to buy them. And I think we've seen that play out through the course of the year. The tickets are sold preseason, and people have bought them up. So we've seen a lot of other colored jerseys in the seats, and that happened with the Broncos. But there was certainly, when the Titans got off to such a great start, took that 13-0 lead in the first half, and were playing so well and running right at Denver, that crowd was really loud and really into the ball game and played a factor in it. Now, the Broncos certainly made their comeback in the second half, got to playing a little bit better, got the 10 points, cut the lead down to 3, got the football back. But on that last drive where the Broncos had the fumble that ultimately the Titans recovered and were able to run out the clock, that crowd was as loud into the ball game as anything it's been here in a long time.
I would love to see that one day. I would love to go. I would love to see that. I haven't seen a Titans game very hype in a long time, so it's been a great sight to see there. And as it comes to the AFC South race, the Titans have some tiebreaker issues in that AFC South race. Do you think this is going to come down to Houston and Tennessee on New Year's Day to win that division, or would Indy have something to say about that? And would those Indy games cost the Titans, in your opinion, winning that division?
Well, Indy's certainly going to have something to say about it, but here's the thing. Indy has the tougher schedule. They've still got to play Minnesota. They've still got to play Oakland as 2 of their final 3 games, and certainly both those teams are very capable of beating Indianapolis, as are any teams in the NFL on any given day. I understand that. But when you look at the 3 teams, Houston, Tennessee, and Indy, the schedule to play out. Granted, the Titans is exactly easy when you consider that they have a game at Kansas City this week and they finish up with Houston. They do have Jacksonville sandwiched in there. Houston has a game with Cincinnati, a game with the Jaguars, and a game with the Titans on their schedule. So the Titans and Texans have a little bit easier path. That said, if Oakland and Minnesota do beat the Colts and knock them down, already they're a game down now, having lost on Sunday, and obviously that 3-way tie doesn't exist at the moment. So 2 more losses for them. If the Texans and the Titans take care of their business, they could come in tied for a winner-take-all game on New Year's Day here when the Texans come to Nashville. And I think that probably those 2 teams will be the 2 teams that will be fighting for it. I don't know if they'll be tied, unsure how that's going to work out. The Titans certainly do have tiebreaker issues if it comes down to a tie with the with the Texans for overall record, because they would have split with the Texans. If they can win that game, they'll have 2 wins over the Jaguars, but the Texans would have a better division record. So the hope for the Titans is you've got to match the Texans game for game. If they win or lose, you either have to do that or one-up them to make sure that when you come into New Year's Day, that game is for the division title.
And I think, would that be the Titans' first Sunday Night Football game in a long time? Because I'm pretty sure that NBC will make that game a Sunday Night Football game if that happens.
Yes, I think it would be flexed. They could flex it out into the Sunday night game. And I tell you, the last time I remember a Sunday night game, it was Christmas night. And, gosh, it's been probably 10 years ago, and it was the Broncos here. Came to Nashville on a Christmas night. It was freezing cold. And
I remember
snowing.
that. I was there.
Yeah, it was not a Denver or Green Bay type of snow, but it was snowing. It didn't affect the game, but there was snow in the air and around that night. It's been a long time since they've had one, but yes, I think it will be if that game is for the division title. Those 2 teams with the winner taking all of it. It'll be flexed and moved to Sunday night, and certainly we hope you can make it up and enjoy the cuisine in the press box with us on that night.
Well, that's actually a bad night for me because, that's the last game at the Georgia Dome during the daytime, and then that night the Hawks playing Spurs that night. So, unfortunately, I'll miss that on New Year's Day. I got a busy New Year's Day already.
Well, now, I was going to say, you can just bring your private jet after you get through in the Georgia Dome and fly on up and be here in time for the night game. But since you've got NBA duties, I guess I'll have to excuse you for that one.
Exactly, yes. The Hawks pay checks.
You gotta get the paycheck. I understand that.
Yes, indeed. Now, Greg, my phone's been blowing up all week over the block of my friend Harry Douglas on Chris Harris Jr. I'm going to reframe my opinion on it, but after reviewing it, what is your feeling on the block and reaction of his block from other people, the media, teammates, other players in the league? What do you feel about that block?
Well, now, I haven't heard a lot from other players in the league about it. Certainly the Titans players support him. You've heard the negatives, obviously. from the Broncos players, from Chris Harris, and he has a right to be upset if that's the way he feels. Now, you and I know Harry. You know him certainly better than I do, but I don't think there was any intent on his part to try to injure or end the career of Chris Harris Jr. with that block. That's the way he blocks in the run game, and it's not something, as he said in the postgame, that they shouldn't have seen on film. And I was the first person to get to Harry in the locker room on Sunday and talk to him. And when I asked him, I said, tell me about the incident. And his first comment was, and JR, you'll understand this one. What incident? What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. We just won a football game. That's what Harry said.
That's Harry Douglas for you.
Absolutely. He did go back and talk and, make the comments that he made, talking about if they had watched film, they know that's how I block. So, it's legal within the rules. I personally think that the rules should be changed to take it out of the game and make guys go up and make a big, a regular block, I guess, or a big block, however you want to put it, get up top and get up into the guy's jersey and numbers and shoulder pads and make a block that way. That's a personal opinion. The league and the rule as it is now, he didn't do anything wrong. And as far as the local media, there have been some split. There have been some guys saying, well, yes, it's legal according to the rules, but, you really don't do that. It's personal opinion. I don't think he did anything wrong, obviously, because of the rule. I would like to see the rule changed to take it out. I don't think there was any intent, and I think certainly the Broncos are really the only ones that have made a big deal out of this. And Chris Harris Jr., he has a right to, okay, if he feels like somebody tried to injure him. Aqib Talib, we know about him. We know about his reputation. We know about the unsavory or, let's just say it, dirty things that he's done at times. In other games, you can go on YouTube and put his name in and find video of some of the things, including poking a player in the eye, which is as dirty as it gets, in my opinion, to do that. And then, we knew as soon as he came out on that very next play and lined up across from Harry Douglas that something was going to happen. And it was poignant and poetic at the end. I don't know if you saw all the pictures, but Aqib Talib got disposed of by Avery Williamson in that scrum on the sideline. Avery took one hand and just threw him out of the way down to the ground as they were trying to break things up on the sideline. So if Chris Harris Jr. had been the one to do it, that would be one thing. Aqib Talib just needed to stay out of it, in my opinion. I understand defending your teammates, but he's not the one to do that, in my opinion.
Well, being Harry's friend, I haven't even brought it up to Harry. We were talking about other stuff. I didn't bring it up to him. I was like, if you want to talk about it, he can with me, but I ain't gonna bring it up to him. So we ain't even made mention of it. It's like it didn't happen. That's how he is. If it didn't happen,
Well, yeah, it happened, but you just don't have to talk about it. But, obviously when we went in the locker room Sunday, that was big news and something that's part of our job we had to ask. And he stood up and answered the question after joking with me, as I told you earlier, about, what happened. He answered the question and answered it a few times and said what he said and, stood up for himself. And I don't blame him in that. And, hopefully that's the end of it. Maybe he and Chris Harris will get together sometime or run into each other at something during the off season and, talk and make up, if you will. I don't know if there's any making up with Aqib Talib, but, that's a different story.
The problem is,
all
of them live here in Atlanta. All of them live down here in the off season. So,
yeah, and they have the same agent.
We're liable to see everybody at a Hawk game. That can go down at a Hawk game. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Hey, get some good video of that if anything happens. You'll get an exclusive.
Exactly. Yeah, you have like one of those like TMC videos. We have the Scrum Volume 2, Titans Broncos at Phillips Arena. Volume 2. I tell you what, that's what it is, Greg. Well, Greg, now, the last question for you, man, is this. What do you feel that the Titans need to do going forward after this year, which we think will be a success based on the record? What does Robinson and Larkin need to do going forward to make the roster even more formidable and better to compete with the Texans of the world going forward?
Well, let me say that this season is a success in most everyone's eyes, even if this team loses the last 3 games, as long as they stay competitive, play close, tough ball games. After winning just 5 games the last 2 seasons combined, a 7-win season this year, and if they win more, that's great. They get to 8, 9, 10, whatever they get to. It's a success no matter what happens. as far as what they've got to do going forward, they need to go out, obviously, and find some cornerbacks. LaShawn Sims, the rookie draft pick, fifth rounder, came in and has played in the last couple of games, played well. In fact, he was the highest-rated defensive player for the Titans by PFF this week. So he's a guy that the potential is there that could step in and fill a cornerback role, but they're still going to have to go out and add some more at corner. They need to add some safeties. They need to get another pass rusher. They need to get an inside linebacker or two, and they need to get a wide receiver and even a tight end. Delaney Walker is still there. He's still effective. But this team for so long, JR, and you know this, has failed to plan for the future, and then had a guy like a Delaney Walker who played so well, and you know that guys can just hit the end of the road for themselves, hit the wall, and their career really be done. They just lose it very quickly. And they failed to plan for the future. So I think they need to find a tight end that can come in and be groomed to step in and take over the Delaney Walker role in the next couple of years when his contract is up or when he finally reaches the end of the line as far as his ability to play this game. If they do those things, and I think they will, they've got free agency in the draft to do that in, this team could take another big jump. Now, I'm not saying Super Bowl because that's something teams still have to learn to win, and this team is still doing that. But certainly I think they could take a jump and be a serious division championship contender and be a serious playoff contender to win some games in the playoffs.
That's what's up, folks. You got from Greg Arias, who's locked on those Titans at TitansInsider.com. Hey, Greg, thank you as always, my brother. Look forward to seeing you real soon, man.
Absolutely. Let me know next time you're going to be in town, and we'll get together and do something. And hopefully once the weather warms up, we get closer to baseball season, we'll get to a Braves game. We'll
and I want you to come to a Hawk game too, Greg. A Hawk game on me, buddy.
I can do that. Just let me know.
All right, brother. Hey, thank you as always, man. I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, JR. Thanks. Have a great night.
All right, folks. Greg Arias on the Bossman Show.
Hello, I'm Dana Ford, head coach of the Tennessee State Tigers men's basketball team, and I'd like to invite you to be a part of the Rebound Foundation game that takes place February 16th at the Gentry Center at 8 p.m. Central and can be seen on ESPNU. The mission of the Rebound Foundation is to provide the necessary building blocks for women and children recovering from domestic violence. You can make a contribution without being at the game at pledgeit.org, TSU Rebound Challenge. To find out more information about the Rebound Foundation, visit www.thereboundfound.org. You can also follow us on social media at the handle The Rebound Foundation. Help the Tigers stand up against domestic violence by pledging to end it.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is a simple one. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft. Whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft, Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success, and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.